My wife has left me for another man and I was directed here to start the process. My wife and I had known one another since November of 2013 and began dating right away. I'm 28 and she's 24 at the time of writing. We met when she was 17 and I was 21 years old. It became a little bumpy after a year, but we pulled it back together and continued with it. On May 16, 2016, we were married. We had our son 2 years ago. She just informed me 8 days ago that she was seeing another guy and that it was physical. At the time, she had been seeing him for 3 weeks. I asked her if she felt I should go and whether I should bring our kid. I walked into the other room and went to bed when she dozed. Just stunned. I spent the whole following day staring at the ceiling in between taking care of our baby. The following day, I loaded everything I could into my vehicle and drove out. To be clear, I have a serious drinking problem that has engulfed me. And now that it has damaged my life, I can't allow it ruin my son's, therefore I'll start attending meetings right away. We've been happy together for years, making sacrifices for one another and enjoying each other's company. We stayed in the city for 3 years after we married because she was furthering her profession. I was running a retail shop and earning a lot of money. She was managing a restaurant and earning a lot of money, but we never saved and were always bad with our spending. We tried for a baby on Valentine's Day 2017 and got pregnant on the first attempt. Our bills were mounting, and we lacked health insurance. I resigned my management position so that I could find another employment and qualify for insurance for her. You never know what might occur throughout a pregnancy. We concluded she should retain hers since she enjoyed and was enthusiastic about her career. I got a new job in insurance. We welcomed our baby into the world on her due day, joyful and healthy. The delivery was natural, and I held her hand throughout the whole process, seeing my son enter the world and even cutting the cord. We were overjoyed and in love. When the insurance company paid out, I resigned that horrible job and went back to work for the same firm. Our bills continued to mount, and we were forced to file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. We were, nonetheless, surviving. We basically lived our lives for the next year and a half, loving one another and raising our baby. She persuaded me to relocate to another location in order to accept another job offer from the same firm with a significant salary boost. I told her that I didn't want to give up what we had. But she persisted, and 3 months later I said it and caved in, telling her we could move again and start over in the new place. I gave up all I like about what I was doing there, as well as our house, which we both adored. We had plenty of space and a fenced-in yard for our kid. We relocated 5 months ago, and I ended up working for her for the sake of convenience since we were having such a difficult time finding a decent trustworthy daycare that there were days when we simply worked opposite shifts to make it work. I felt less of a man and went into a profound despair. I grew cold and distant to her, and we ultimately only had once every several weeks. I stopped looking her in the eyes, holding her, kissing her, and caressing her. We were almost like housemates with the child. We never discussed it, though. She, too, ignored me. But I'm sure she saw the despair in my eyes. But she looked to be enjoying herself, and I couldn't simply walk away or tell her we needed to go someplace else. Our flat was very tiny. Tiny, for example. We had nowhere to enjoy one another's company as we used to, and nowhere for our kid to run and play. So crowded. I should have done something, like seen a therapist. I tried to find a job that I liked, but I simply rotted. Every day, I drowned myself in the bottle. I performed all of the housekeeping, including washing, dishes, food, and childcare for our kid. I was merely a drone going through the motions. When she informed me, she claimed she felt dead within. It was my D-Day. She felt nothing and needed to go experience something else. That day, I died a bit within. I went away, utterly shutting her off. It took a few days for me to wake up, but I battled for her. Forgiveness was offered. As I'm an atheist and she's a Lutheran, I offered to attempt to find religion with her. I told her I'd do everything to keep her in my life, to get the assistance I needed for my drinking years ago. I simply wish she had given me a deadline before having an affair. She has, however, already gone away. My heart and soul are broken right now, and I'm having trouble keeping it together. I really want to drink, but I can't because I have to do this for my kid. I have a job, a place to live, and my kid. I assured her I could forgive her and restart our lives together if she let go of the bottle. Pay attention to us. I've made so many errors. 2 days ago, I offered her the same ultimatum she should have given me a month ago, and she picked him. I'd been sleeping for a long time and just now awoke. It's been a living nightmare. I can't stop vomiting. I've started getting panic episodes and breakdowns at random. I considered altering all of the screenshots, eliminating names and locations, and just posting them. I'm with you, everyone. I attempted to win her back in those texts. She even posted on Facebook that she was in a relationship after I changed my status to separated. I'm over here trying to reach out to her, but she's already gone on. It's as though she's no longer the same person. Today, I sent her my last statement from our relationship. We will only discuss money and our kid from now on until the divorce is finalized. She will continue to pay on the bankruptcy and aid me financially, since if we fail or reorganize, it would make life difficult for all of us. This includes our kid. Now I'm going to make my last statement. Me, just one more thing. I'm sorry for falling into such a sad place when we relocated. I just wasn't pleased there. I was in a deep depression. I didn't pay attention to your bodily or emotional requirements. I got much more immersed in the bottle than I had before. I suppressed those sentiments from you because I wanted to offer you the world. I sacrificed the enjoyment of having a real house and a real career in order to give you the globe. That's what I did for you. I should have gone to therapy. We both should have, particularly since your sister died, and I wasn't there for you at that time. I had lost my desire to actually live and to live through you. I can't undo what I've done or the decisions I've made, but I'm glad you've found some pleasure in your life, and that will keep me going. Along with the delight I get from spending every day with our baby. I've even pondered trying to find another lady to love, but I know I can't. It will not be love, it will be hollow, it will not solve anything, and it is unjust and unfair to our kid. I've put all of our photos here to remind me of the love we had when we actually loved one another, and I'll keep moving ahead to ensure our kid is loved, happy, and well. I'm going to see a counselor soon and simply speak to someone. When we moved here, we both lost a lot of who we were. We became into shells of ourselves, allowing it to take over everything. I'm also sorry for not paying attention to your needs, emotions, and happiness. We were both living in a darkness, and it was ruining us. I truly hope you go find someone to speak to and that you keep away from drinking. Our kid is everything to us. You have no clue how much I miss him. I'm overjoyed that he has you. I'm certain he's in good hands, but I also want you to remember that there is no justification for the decisions you took. And you may hate me for it if you want to. I want you to remember that you abandoned us and your kid. We did make a pledge, which you violated. I'm going to dump it now. Have a wonderful life. Update 1. It's been 5 months since everything occurred, and I'm finally back to my old self. My drinking is basically non-existent at this point. I started working as an IT technician in January and work Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., perfect for daycare while being a full-time dad. I'm overjoyed to have finally left my retail job. In December, I did lose it for a spell. My whole life was flipped upside down. Anxiety and a continual sense of foreboding. I drank myself to death. I nearly quit eating completely and dropped 40 pounds. Sleeping for just a few hours every day. I'm 5 feet 11 inches, I was 180, dropped all the way down to 140, and am now back to eating regularly. Everything went downhill around a month ago. My wife and the AP split up and remarried many times over the months, but last month I received a random phone call from the AP after he discovered my phone number on her phone. He was telling him how she was lying to him about still talking to him. Obviously we still talk, we have a child together. He phoned to inform me he was over her and that she was pregnant. He inquired as to whether it belonged to me. That caught me off guard. It isn't. She eventually attempted to make amends with me. I turned away from her. I feel like I can breathe and make my own choices for the first time in years. It was a wake-up call for me to finally get started and get a lawyer. They reconnected a few days later as well. To me, the whole thing seems grotesque. She's only asked to visit our kid twice in this time period, so I shouldn't have any trouble obtaining primary custody. This week, I finally filed for divorce. I simply wanted to convey that things do get better. I was completely unaware of how manipulative and controlling she was, and now that I've been on my own for 5 months, nothing but wonderful has happened to me. I still feel lonely from time to time, but my kid gets my mind off of things and keeps me occupied. It's simply a fantastic feeling knowing I don't need her, and I don't believe I ever did. I got codependent on a poisonous individual. I ultimately let her go, and it was the finest thing I ever did. Update 2. I can't believe how much time has gone. It will be a year since I stepped out that door in 3 months. Life does, indeed, go on. Never quit up, no matter how low you fall. Pick yourself up and get yourself together. Allow time to heal your wounds. I don't have many terrible days anymore, but I still dream about some of the trauma. Wake up, wipe a few tears away, and return to sleep. I try not to worry about it or let it bother me like it used to. Still not quite divorced. My lawyer is still working on the parenting arrangement. We both attended the parenting course. During the proceedings, the judge gave me custody. At this stage, I doubt obtaining primary custody will be a problem. She pays me child support, and I pay her Chapter 13 payment. She gets weekend visitation twice a week. Even after all this time, seeing her with him still makes me nervous. They're usually together throughout the exchanges. His child is 7 months pregnant. Examine the instrument in the eyes. I'm doing it because I have to. I don't owe her anything, but I owe it to our kid to maintain my calm. As much as I dislike her and her decisions, he is entitled to see his mother. I simply keep telling myself that she is not the lady I fell in love with. It's merely someone I have a legal responsibility to let see my kid. The new job is growing better all the time. When I was sent to a power district to provide tech support, maintenance, and network administration, I received 2 promotions and a sizable bonus. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's been going on since March. There are no complaints. I'd also want to mention that I had to take a step back and recognize I no longer had any tension in my life. Whatever you want. I can now breathe. I successfully stopped smoking over a month ago. Just go cold turkey and don't look back. I realized I didn't need it anymore. However, I still like a drink of whiskey at the end of the night. I'm not going to let my vices own me any longer. I've tried dating. At this time, I'd had a couple flings. However, nobody has yet set well with. Meeting and chatting to new people may be a pain at times. To avoid offending anybody, everyone I've met has been really needy. I just no longer appreciate being connected to my phone. But that's okay. It feels good to be satisfied for the first time since I was a teenager. I don't need anybody. It's just me and my guy, and that's really all I need. Playdates with my colleagues' children and picnics in the park. Definitely vibing in dad mode. My employer has a full-size bouncy castle. The type you see at those dreadful pop-up fairs. It's really amusing. Take a step back and recall what they did to you, no matter how much your heart hurts or how badly you want the other person back in your life. Remember who you are or were before meeting them. That's what I took and ran with. I evolved emotionally as a result of that. You, too, can. Take the time to look for yourself and quit thinking about the cheater. It forced me to take a step back and realize how much the world does not revolve around me. It surely did when I was with her, just me and her. Everyone was there for us, yet no one was there for us. Now she's cut off more than half of her family for this man. The family I still speak to doesn't smack as hard as spending out with my father-in-law and brothers-in-law. As I previously said, I just wanted to check in. I'll probably write again when the divorce is finalized to let you all know if anything stupid occurs. My life is now on cruise control, and I'm doing pretty well. To anybody reading this who is going through what I went through, it does get better with time. Don't pursue the answer in the heat of the moment, you'll be sorry afterwards. Take use of this opportunity to grow as a person. Please excuse my language. Update 3, she had the child a few weeks ago. I had to travel many hours to the hospital where she was being treated to sign documents indicating that I am not the father. I haven't been feeling well since. She's on maternity leave and has requested for our kid to stay with her for a week. I let it happen. It's the first time I've been away from my kid for more than a few days. My regimen has absolutely thrown me off. My father then texted me this morning, saying that with the number of images she's sharing, she must be up for Mother of the Year. I realize it's simply her way of validating herself. Being the ideal mother. It shouldn't concern me, but it sure as heck does. I'm almost embarrassed for myself that it does. I'm not sure whether I'm experiencing a regression. I'm simply feeling depressed today. Like I want to crawl into a hole. All that remains is for the DNA test to prove to the court that it is not my child, and the case will be closed. My attorney is working with her to get it arranged. It's been nearly a year. My 1-year anniversary of D-Day is in 20 days. It's getting to the point where I'm tired of repeating it all in my thoughts while looking at the ceiling at night. I'm not sure. I'm doing well. Last update, it has finally been signed and stamped by a judge. I got divorced on Thursday. I have exclusive physical custody of our baby and dual legal custody. I'm unconcerned. I'm just happy it's finished. She is still working with the Associated Press. I'm betting they'll marry. The job is still going quite well. It deserves nothing but praise. I keep receiving promotions. It sure kept my mind busy through the worst of it. My boyfriend and I now have our own apartment. Granted, we're just renting a little 2-bedroom home in a small town for the two of us. It's ideal. It's funny since I have everything I've ever desired. Relationships are still more of a bother for me. I'm quite peaceful by myself, content to get lost in my daily routine. Of course, there was more hot things that occurred in between, but whenever I discuss it, my postings are removed. So I'll just pass the time. Edit not removed, but locked. I'm not sure what more to say. For the first time in 10 years, I'm single. I wish you the best of luck with whatever you're going through. You're not alone yourself. Thank you for reading my rants, including the ones moderators deleted, and providing me with optimism and someone to speak to when I needed it the most. I'll be starting the next chapter of my life.